Well, good morning, everybody. How is everyone doing? We've made it halfway through the week. Halfway through. I apologize for yesterday with this heat that just came on and everything. I had a headache I could not get rid of. Even after the intense sinus pressure went away, then it was just like this dull, annoying headache all day long. Insane. Also, we did have a show last night about little Dominic. He's a little boy that was set on fire by a bully, and I had a lot. So for those of you that came in, thank you very much. I had some comments afterwards saying, are you going to edit this? They kept talking about it was buffering in and out, and I rewatched the show, and I didn't see any problem on my end. Did any of you have a problem? That's the thing when you do stuff live, you don't know, because I couldn't see on my end that I was losing any signal or anything. And when I replayed it, there wasn't any breakup at all. So you let me know. Like I said, when we do things live, I can't prevent mistakes. So let's see who all is in here. First one, 7 o'clock this morning, our friend Sarah. She said, I know it's off topic, but prayers from a little guy, please. We're at the ER. He's got a very high fever, and they did a COVID test and chest x-ray. So we're definitely thinking about Sarah today because that's awful. We never want our little ones to get sick, ever. Gaelic girl, good morning. Uli, good morning. Good morning, Magoo. Hope everyone's doing good. There's Katrina. Sarah gave an update. She said COVID and the start of an ear infection. No COVID treatment for a 3-year-old, sending us home soon. Oh, wow. Sarah, I'm so sorry. Ugh. It just breaks my heart. I mean, just seeing my kids when they were little and they get sick. I mean, hell, even now they're grown men. I get upset when they get sick. Good morning, Aggie. Hello, preschool granny. Rhonda said, yay. Yay, Rhonda. Hello, Chris. Hello, Juicy Tequila Bobo. Cheyenne, Chandra, Kathy. Hope everybody's doing good. Oh, hang on. I thought I had something else from Sarah. 2 Boston moms, Rebecca. Okay, Just Me said it did buffer a few times, but it wasn't bad. Yeah, I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear it on my end. Life Chaos said I was having that problem last night no matter who I watched. I think it was YouTube. Well, YouTube needs to clean it up. That was an important show. I mean, every show is important, but this was the first show we did with Dominic and his parents. YouTube can't be doing that to us. YouTube cannot be doing that to us. We got important stuff to talk about on here, don't we, guys? Good morning, Ray. The Real Rockin' Robin. What a cool name. I do see some new names in here, guys. Hit the sub button. Hit it. I'm going to go over some comments from the last show we did about summer, and buffered on me also, but mine buffered a few times yesterday. So it must have been a YouTube thing because it wasn't on my end, because if I'm losing signal, I'll actually get kind of a warning on my computer. You can see it going down, and then it always jumps back up. So that's unacceptable, YouTube. That's unacceptable. Unacceptable. Good morning, Outlaw Trucker. How are you?
Good morning, Brooks. Not too bad.
You said you didn't notice anything on your end during the show with Dominic.
Well, towards the end, I actually do remember it kind of buffered. YouTube did it. Actually, it wasn't on your end, but it was YouTube. I seen it buffer a little bit a couple times, but other than that, no, the whole show went well.
Okay. It's heartbreaking, definitely. And we're going to hear more from the family. I don't know when we're going to do another show, but they have a lot going on, and I feel terrible for them. I feel terrible for them. Good morning, Kay. Good morning. Ray said hers is still doing it today. Oh, dang it. Goodness. Well, let's get to some comments. You got time?
Sure, let's go for it.
Let's do it. All right, from the last show that we did on summer, Sheila said, how can they just focus on one area when one of those people could have taken little Summer and handed her off to someone else and taken her out of state? That's a really common question. A lot of people said, especially with the people that came from New York and the big issue with Jose and everything, why are they just looking in that one area? I mean, I can only guess that they got something from one of their phones that directs them to that area, but it's a really good question. What do you think?
That is a very good question. I mean, it's still on the table, but we're still trying to figure out of where is she is the key question.
Where is she? There's no rhyme or reason to any of this. None. Nothing in this case makes sense. Nothing. Genetic Genie, she said the whole not eating is absolutely shameful. I think so too. Okay, they didn't feed her at Sonic, didn't get anything for Hunter to eat. Grandis, Candace, I mean, nobody got anything to eat. Okay, fine. If nobody's hungry, nobody's hungry. But throughout all the BS that Candace feeds us throughout the day about, trying to make up her timeline or her missing time, she never mentions feeding her family. We got home and ate. That would make sense to everybody. She never mentions the simplest things. The comment goes on to say, my mother would be screaming at me to feed my kids. So what in the heck is wrong with Grandis if she was even there? See, again, we have another big question mark because like I said, in this case, there's no rhyme or reason. We don't know what the hell's going on. And we're 11 months into this. She said, furthermore, my kids would have been a whining pain in the butt if I didn't feed them. It's all fishy. Yeah, I can't remember ever pulling up to a Sonic, McDonald's, any restaurant for that matter, and my children not wanting something off the menu.
That is true.
So exactly, Candace, when did you feed your family that day? I mean, does everybody fend for themselves? But she never mentions that. We got home, unloaded groceries, and of course, everyone had to eat. That would actually make sense to most people. I mean, it would to me. Mickey says, hi, Brooks. Don said when he got home from work on the 15th, the first thing he saw was all the boys were looking for Summer. I can't understand why it's so important to Candace to lie about the boys, or just one boy went to work with Don. You can't believe anything she says. All right, red flag 5 million. He says he gets home and the boys are at the creek. Grandis confirms this too. She says that the boys went down to the creek to look for Summer. Now, Candace says at one time it was one boy, then it was 2 boys were at work with Dawn. Grandis also says when they got back home, the boys, she didn't mention a name, the boys collectively helped unload groceries, she said, and of course the Summer. How come Candace had to make it sound like the boys were really at work with Dawn? Why is that a big deal?
That's a catch. That's a catch-22 in that one.
Why did she have to place the boys anywhere except for at the house? They're at work with Dawn. Dawn says he gets there and the 3 boys are at the creek. Grandis, she sat there and she watched them. She even made the comment she was afraid they would get abducted. So we know they were home. So what did Dawn bring them home during the afternoon, drop them off and go back to work? That doesn't make any sense.
No, it's about a 32-minute drive from where his work is.
Yeah, or longer. Crime Time said, see, I never heard anyone say the boys were with Dawn at work. Candace did. Here's a screenshot right here where she's arguing with somebody. Basically, somebody throwing shade at the boys, or one of the boys. And she says, wow, blame my son, and he's been at work with my husband. Candace put that out there. She told Hunter that. For whatever reason, she wanted the boys not to be at the house that day, even if she made it up, because in her mind, if she says it, it's true. Makes no sense to me. No sense to me. All right. John Taylor says the red car was alibi number 1. Dawn ringing the police is alibi number 2. What the other 5 are, we don't know. Everybody has talked about the GPS system on the Subaru, and Don was probably pinged in different areas throughout the day, which means he couldn't have been at work all day. You know? How many different places do you need to go when you're supposed to be drywall in one apartment, right?
Or one house, yeah.
Yeah, because he was at that apartment complex. So that's John's thoughts on the Subaru, because we were talking, we said, since this was an ER situation, then what's it matter that Don took the Subaru? It doesn't sound like that was pre-planned at all. This was a spur of the moment, got to take Grandis to the ER. So does it even matter that he had the Subaru? But John's saying that was one of his alibis.
But then again, he could still took his white truck to work. I mean,
Yeah.
why all of a sudden take the Subaru? It still don't make sense.
I wonder myself. And then I wonder when he did the reenactment on Dr. Phil, and he talked about how he had to load up his tools and, run back to the house, get back as soon as possible, all that stuff. When he was doing the reenactment, he was loading into a white truck. He doesn't even use the Subaru for the reenactment. Did you find that strange?
It was strange.
Very strange. Very strange. Crud. I didn't mean to do that. Hang on one second. I am slow today. I'm slow. Computer's slow. S says police need to investigate all them druggie dealers, everyone around that area. Yep, I hope they have shaken the shit out of every one of them. Every one of them. Because it's depravity. Can't keep a story straight. Sometimes I don't even think they attempt to. I think it's just like, well, I said this a few weeks ago, but now I'm going to change it just because. Keep them on their toes. Right.
But to have a time, I don't even think they're actually really telling the truth.
No, they couldn't possibly be. There's truth in there somewhere, but the truth doesn't change. And like I said, you can't have three people, all three had eyes on Summer that day, and all three have a different story. So where is it? Where's the truth in all of this? All right. All right, now I'm getting it to load. Sorry. So now I have another question. What was really going on June 14th? And did something or many things on June 14th lead to the 15th?
It's possible.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, anything's possible, but I came across an article the other day. Hold on one second. I think my computer's had a heat stroke. It's running slow. Thank you, Gaelic girl. Thank you to you. All right, so let's look at this article. Now, this article is not anything recent. I think it's from like back in August. A few things in it caught my eye, but one thing in particular. All right, so they're talking about the red truck. Now, I think they mentioned the red truck to the public around the end of June. I want to say it was like June 26th. They made it where, they wanted everyone to look for this truck. Excuse me. Nobody really could figure out why, especially since they said they don't think the person driving the truck is in any way, shape, or form a suspect. Okay, but still, they're still asking for that truck. They're still if anybody saw that truck or know who was driving it, they want to talk to him. All right, so let's look at this article real quick. Yeah, it was August 4th, 2021. There's Pretty Little Summer right there. Ugh. All right. TBI says that the investigation into the circumstances leading to the disappearance of 5-year-old Summer Wells remains active and ongoing. That's worded strange. The circumstances leading to. Agents and Hawkins County detectives continue to search for a 98 to 2000 maroon or red Toyota Tacoma, with a full bed ladder rack and white buckets in the truck bed. This is a really detailed description someone gave them of the truck. And I think Lawson said it's a local guy. He's a contractor that, is in that area. Was in that area that day. He said that day, but now I'm confused. I'll tell you why in a second. The search stems from information investigators received that a truck matching that description was seen in the area of Beach Creek Road and Ben Hill Road in the late afternoon to early evening on either Monday, June 14th or Tuesday, June 15th. I never caught this in this article before. So what could have been going on the 14th? And then, of course, they word it, and then again, there's the wording in the beginning of the article, the circumstances leading up to. So what was going on the 14th? Channel 5 News is just, they're reporting what they were told. That's big to me. Late afternoon to early evening on either Monday, June 14th or Tuesday, June 15th. All right, what do you guys think? Why are they asking about June 14th? We have a hard enough time just trying to figure out what in the world was going on June 15th. Now we have another day to think about. Wolfcat said, who saw the truck first? I don't know who saw the truck. I think Lawson said it was, I'll get to that interview in a second. It was like a local contractor is what he said. Some people said it's a UPS driver. I don't know.
It could be anyway.
Tinfoil. No, hang on. Tinfoil said, they've said Summer was last seen early afternoon, June 15th. Yeah. We've played that with the TBI press conference many times where they said early afternoon. Then we see this article. It's on the screen. They're not saying she could have disappeared on the 14th. I'm not putting out a conspiracy theory. But this red truck, what would it matter if that red truck was out there? What would the person in the red truck have seen on June 14th? That's my question. Share Bear. Dudley got fired on the 14th. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Dudley also said that Don got a message on his phone. We don't know if it was a text, a picture, or what. And basically, it just took all the wind out of his sails. So something was brewing up on the 14th. And this article really makes me extra suspect that this truck might have seen something on the 14th. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Danette said maybe the plan started taking place on the 14th. Maybe so. I'm not making this up. It's right here in the article. So they got this from somebody at Hawkins County or TBI. That truck might have seen something. The driver of the truck, obviously, might have seen something the 14th or 15th. Again, if she just wandered off in the woods on the 15th, then what the hell does it matter what was seen on the 14th?
Well, if you look at your chat, Melina Ray Styles just said that Don described his entire day. Was it actually on the 14th and not the 15th? Or was it on the 15th? But he could never decide what day it really was on. So we could take that back as relevant. It might have been on the 14th when he described all that day.
Seems like the two have kind of blurred, huh?
Kind of.
Yep. Kind of Sprinkle said, I think the 14th is important, like the milk pick is important and the people in the milk pick. Absolutely. All right, so something was going on. Something was brewing that day. Dudley gets fired. Don had some flimsy excuse for it. He was looking at his phone. He got a message. It looked like he had just lost his best friend. All right. Now, Emma sent me this screenshot. This is between her and Grandis. This is Emma with Crime Stories Obsessed. And she asked Grandis, okay, in green is Emma, in white is Grandis. She said, can I ask you, babe? She was asking her a question. She said, what's up? You know, the night before Summer went missing, was everything normal at home with Don? Was he acting weird or being overly aggressive to Candace at all? Grandis says he got mad because she had a drink. Now, we all know Candace never just has one drink. Okay, Grandis? But anyway, I dig it. He got mad because she had a drink, but she put him in his place. Then Grandis says she went in. Let me look at it on my phone. It's easier. Or let me take the banner down so we can see it better. Hang on. Okay, he got mad because she had a drink, but she put him in his place, and I went home. All right, so something's brewing. Something's brewing. We fired Dudley, looking at her phone like we lost our best friend. We get home. We know Dawn's not going to get in her ass for having one drink. It would be more of a, oh, congratulations, you just had one drink, not the whole jug. And she puts him in his place. What's going on here?
Good question. We know Candace and Don always fights when they get belligerent, and especially when they get into the alcohol and all that.
Mm-hmm. And Danette said maybe the message Dawn got was from Candace saying the plan was about to go down with Summer. Makes you wonder, because then all of a sudden, the doting daughter wants to take her mom to the ER to look at her knee, which had been hurting her for over a week, mind you. She didn't care until the 15th, right? Then we get Hunter involved. Then we have 4 missing hours in the afternoon, to which nobody can explain. Nobody had a bite to eat. Calls at 6:30 after posting weird stuff on Facebook at 6 o'clock. And now, in all these conflicting stories that have come ever since.
And
so what was brewing up on the 14th?
And another conflicted story was that, oh yeah, we stopped to get slushies. But not only that, H said we didn't really have slushies and all that. So if it is, where's the blueberry diet? It was supposed to be on Sumner's mouth and all that.
Who threw the cups away? The picture that we see, if it's from that day, that's still way up in the air. There's an orange pop bottle and some Skittles. Where's the Sonic cups? They don't clean anything up, so they'd have to be around there somewhere.
And we didn't see it.
No. So, okay, so right there, Grandis is confirming that stuff was going down that night. Now, we've also heard that they did have somewhat of a party and everybody was drunk. So again, Grandis isn't telling, maybe she's just telling what she saw for herself. I don't know. He gets mad because she had a drink. I don't see that happening, but okay. And I'm not doubting Emma at all. This is a conversation between Emma and Grandis. Just with Grandis, I always wonder if she doesn't tell us the entire story. We know that. Her interview with WJHL leaves a lot out. She doesn't even mention Hunter.
No, it was only her and herself.
Yeah. Her nap and her knee. That's about all we got out of that. Okay. I'm going to take that down real quick. So I think this is huge that Grandis confirms with Emma that stuff was going down the night before. Now, she kind of writes it off. Candace put him in his place, and then I went home. Grandis is really big about getting the hell out of Dodge when stuff's going down. Has anyone noticed that, or just me?
No, I see it too.
Yeah, and like Just Me said, funny that Summer's mouth wasn't stained from the drink. I've always thought that too. All of our kids have had slushies.
And not too long ago, I test running it too, and I had a slushy from the Quick Trip, and it stained my tongue. So yeah, they still have the dyes in there to stain our mouth and all that. So
I muted myself. Sorry about that. Tinfoil. You're exactly right. Napgate. Napgate 2021. I mean, and then just like this message between Emma and Grandis. Candace puts him in his place after he gets mad she's having a drink. Okay. And then she went home. She takes herself out of the scenario as much as she possibly can. Not saying that I blame anybody for not wanting to be a part of this. Not saying that. All right, so we go back to July, I believe, of 2021, where Lawson's talking about the red truck again. Again, I want to know what it would matter if that red truck, the driver of it, what they saw on the 14th and why it's even brought up.
it's a good question.
Yeah.
Enforcement spoke for the first time on camera today in more than 2 weeks on the disappearance of Summer Wells.
You'll remember families said they last saw the 5-year-old at their home in Hawkins County in the Beech Creek community on June 15th. Bianca Murray spoke with one of the lead agencies in the case.
Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson tells me everything is on the tables. Investigators are...
God, they've been saying that the whole time.
not ruling out an abduction or that she might have walked away from her home. Their only goal is to find Summer, but they're saying it's difficult with circulating rumors on social media.
Okay, I dig that. And it's little did he know at the time it would only get worse as far as the rumors on social media. All right, so if it is an abduction, then I guess the red truck, the driver of, might have seen something odd or a strange car or a strange person, something like that on the 14th. That would make sense. Now, since then, we know that the FBI card unit has ruled out an abduction. If she wandered off, she didn't wander off both days. Why would it matter what the driver of the truck saw on the 14th, like the article said? The article said Monday the 14th or Tuesday the 15th. He's not going to see, he or she isn't going to see anything on the 14th to verify that Summer wandered off. It doesn't make any sense.
Nope, they sure don't.
Rebecca said, we're all confused because these people don't tell the truth. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And if the whole story about her not feeling well, if that's true, what would it matter that what would the driver of this red truck have seen? How would he know if they're driving down the road and she's not feeling good? And again, they're not just talking about the afternoon of the 15th. The article said Monday or Tuesday. Monday or Tuesday. I know I keep repeating myself here because I'm really perplexed. Unless this person's a fortune teller, what would it matter if they saw anything on Monday? What would it matter?
In my position and my detectives, everywhere we go, everybody wants to share their opinion, which is, we understand that. But 99.9% of things that people are posting or saying, we've already looked into and taken care of.
Lawson says anyone living in roughly 5-mile radius of the Beech Creek community should look at their trail or security camera footage again from
Okay, so they said that from the very beginning and they're still saying it. Within a 5-mile radius of their home. No abductor is going to take her 5 miles. she's going to be way the hell out of Dodge. Okay. I just don't believe that. Can she really wander off 5 miles? And if she wandered off, again, what would it matter if the red truck, the driver of, saw anything on Monday?
I'm going to have to look into that today.
Help me right now.
Where's my phone? You haven't.
Unheard, not forgotten. Missed you, girlfriend. So from the very beginning, of course, they're already talking about social media rumors, and I do agree with him. I mean, I agree. You know, any theories or anything people have thrown out, they've already looked into. I mean, Leslie said with the TBI, she said this is a case way outside the norm, which makes me think then she didn't wander off, because kids do wander off. That's a normal thing for kids to do. Then I'm back to that article where it said Monday the 14th or Tuesday the 15th. We have the whole situation with Dudley, the picture, he gets fired. Dawn and Candace get into it Monday night, which that's really, that's kind of a nightly situation, I would think. But anyway, still, something went down enough for Grandis to confirm it and repeat it.
The day Summer disappeared.
And sometimes people will think, well, I saw that, but it probably wouldn't mean anything. But the least little thing to us may be something huge. So that's why we ask for the public, everything they see, to continue to check their property, their outbuildings and different things like that.
What kind of a toll has this taken on your department?
Mentally, physically, and emotionally. A lot of my officers have small children. They have grandchildren, and we know what goes through our mind if that would be our child or grandchild. And plus us spending so much time in Beach Creek for 3 weeks, but my office never stopped. We're still answering all the same amount of calls, still, bringing people to jail, investigating.
Okay, so Summer obviously wasn't carrying a phone. So it's not like they could ping Summer. They still never left that area. So how can you verify that she wandered off? Abducted makes no sense, because you're not going to abduct a child and just take them 5 minutes from their house. That's crazy. So what the hell's really going on here?
I just dropped something in your DM on your Discord. But I went into GPS on 110 Ben Hill Road, and I did put it on the walk. From their house to Dollar General, it takes 2 hours and 41 minutes for an adult. But if a kid wandered off, it could almost take about up to 4 hours for a kid to walk to the store in about 1.4 miles, I think it was. So,
yeah, that's a lot of wandering off, if you know what I mean. How far away was she really trying to get? I mean, I just, that's just not sitting right with me. And I've been wondering about this too. The real Rockin' Robin. I keep going back to the pool. Where did the pool get gone to? We've seen many, many pictures where there's a swimming pool there, which is even more odd that they take her swimming that day when they already have a little splash pool. Where did it go? Where'd the pool go? If she wandered off and gotten hurt and not found over the course of the 11 months, wouldn't someone have? I think somebody would have found her by now. Look at the equipment they were using. It's heat seeking. Unless somewhere within that 5 miles, someone hid her.
Other cases, and it just wires you out.
Investigators are still hoping to find a potential witness who drives a red or maroon truck that was spotted in the Ben Hill Road neighborhood the afternoon of June 15th.
The biggest thing is the ladder racks and the white buckets.
Okay, so this newscast says the afternoon of June 15th. Then it gets reworded. Mind you, this is in July. Then it gets reworded in August to the 14th or 15th. It's like the disappearance of Summer is an ever evolving, changing story. I mean, it has been since day one. So right there, she's saying on the 15th, which would make sense to me. Like, did you see Candace leave? Did you see a truck leave that property? What time did it get back? Would that not be extremely helpful? But then you throw in Monday, and that makes no sense to me. Why would they be asking for a witness on Monday? Anybody got thoughts? Let's see, I'm going to go through some comments here. If she was taken, why hasn't someone asked for something? So no abduction there either. Yeah.
Means that they do some kind of work, and that vehicle was seen in the area sometime during her disappearance, and we're just wondering if they saw something. They may hold that little piece I was talking about earlier.
He said sometime during her disappearance. Well, what are we aiming at here? FBI card unit said no abduction. They may have seen something. Well, if she wandered off, all they would have seen is a little girl wandering off, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Seems to me that they want to see if somebody saw Candace leave the property and what time she came back. Still, I want to know why they're looking for a witness for the 14th, the red truck on the 14th. I also want to know, since they still say it's relevant and they want to talk to the person driving that truck, why Robin was marking that truck out of all the missing flyers. She did a reenactment. I grabbed my marker and I just mark it out. That doesn't matter. Yeah, I know Robin has a red vehicle too, but she knows it wasn't her. Or she could have said, hey, that was me, and I didn't see anything. I don't know. I mean, she was at work, and then her daughter had a dance recital. She didn't get there till that night. So why was she so adamant that truck doesn't matter?
Here, it would blow this thing wide open, let us know where Summer is if they saw something. And we've searched and found so many of them, just not the right one yet.
Sheriff Lawson tells me that if anyone has a credible tip, not a social media rumor or opinion, but something they may have seen near the Beach Creek community that day, to let authorities know.
Okay, good luck on that. Because anybody that saw anything isn't talking. Good luck on that. Good luck. Danette says, I thought Candace and Dawn had cameras. How funny they weren't working that day. See, I've heard they had non-working cameras, and then I heard cameras didn't get installed until after Summer disappeared because they didn't want people on their property. It's just never a straight answer. It's just never a straight answer. So what are you making of all this, Outlaw?
So puzzling right now, but it made me thinking too.
Debbie says, this case is horrible. Why haven't the boys given any answers? Okay, so not only that, how come when the reporter on June 17th specifically asked Lawson about the boys, he evaded the question and just verified she has 3 older siblings? Why did Candace make it a point to tell Hunter and other people? Now, mind you, this is after June 15th. Other people, that the boys weren't home. They were with Dawn at work. Well, the boys can't be at the creek looking for Summer. Dawn sees them, Grandis sees them, and be at work. He didn't load up his tools and the boys. Why does Candace have to make sure to tell people the boys were not on that property? Or at least 2 of them, or at least 1 of them, because it changes. And let's think more about why they would want to know if there was anybody that witnessed anything on the 14th. Is our mind blown yet? Because mine is. Okay, Teresa said they had gotten cameras after Summer went missing. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Sad to say, I don't think we're ever going to really know. I'm pretty confident they didn't have cameras that day, or there wouldn't be so much left to talk about, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I take that back. It's 8 miles from their house to the Dollar General, the closest one. So if a kid does walk it, it's going to be almost 4.5 hours for a kid to even to walk that train.
All right, sorry, I was just loading another clip. Okay. Yeah, and she didn't have shoes on. Remember that. Candace makes sure to tell everybody she was barefoot. Now, they did rephrase it later and said believed to be barefoot. How far are you going to get barefooted? How far? She got little tiny feet, little tiny soft feet.
That is right. She would have to walk the grass line quite a few ways.
Yeah. So in this one, Lawson brings up the red truck again. Of course, there's some other stuff between Brian Enton and Dawn we're going to discuss. But they have never, in the last, since last June, at the end of June, ever said, don't worry about that red truck. We don't need to talk to that person. And I know a lot of people said, look, that red truck is a red herring. It was just put out there to scare Dawn and Candace. I think at this point they knew nothing would scare Dawn and Candace. So hold on.
New interviews on a case that we have been covering extensively here on News Nation Prime. 5-year-old Summer Wells has been missing for 5 months. Her parents say she vanished within minutes from their home in Rogersville, Tennessee. But months of searching have come up empty. There have been no new leads and no evidence, not even a sighting of Summer. And suspicion has started to turn to her parents, Don and Candace Wells. They have been adamant that Summer was abducted. But tonight, the sheriff on the case says everyone is a person of interest. Correspondent Brian Enton is live tonight in Tennessee. He spoke with Summer's dad in his first interview since he appeared on Dr. Phil. Brian.
And again, Lawson says everyone is a person of interest. Now, don't think that that statement doesn't burn Grandis's ass, which is exactly why all she can talk about is her knee in the nap. Okay, she doesn't put herself in any of this. I mean, she disassociates real fast. Everyone's a person of interest. Why would you need a suspect or a person of interest if she just wandered off? Why? Doesn't make any sense.
Brian.
Marnie, you know, we've talked about this case, we've covered this case, but to be on the ground here in Tennessee, you realize right away just how complex it is. All of the different personalities involved and just the mystery that this little girl 5 months later is still missing. Flying into Tennessee, we weren't sure what to expect. Summer Wells has been missing for 5 months. No new leads and basically no new information since the 5-year-old vanished from her Northeast Tennessee home.
I can't find her. They've been yelling for her. She's been gone for about 10 minutes now.
Summer's been missing since June 15th, and there are definitely some people who are not happy that we've come here to dig into the case. Some people on social media basically just telling us to stay away. But there are still so many unanswered questions about where Summer is.
It's now been 5 months since Summer Wells disappeared. Do your investigators know anything more now than they did 5 months ago?
We really don't know anything more, but everything's still on the table.
Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson is in charge of the investigation.
Everybody that's involved in this case is a person of interest. We've not ruled anyone out.
Summer's dad, Don Wells, agreed to meet with us. We talked to him on the edge of his property where Summer disappeared.
What do you think happened? What does your heart tell you?
Well, I know in my heart and in my mind she was abducted. Someone snuck up there.
In my heart and my mind, someone snuck up there. All right, so then that would make sense if they want to talk to the driver of the red truck, if they saw anything around, someone coming down the road. Did you see any other cars? Or also, did you see Candace leave? Candace slipped that one day, and she said that the TBI told her they knew she left 2 more times that afternoon when she got home. So when she got home, she left the property twice. That was kind of a Freudian slip of hers. I really don't think she would throw that out there to stir everybody up. That would be something she wouldn't want people to know. What do you think?
Yeah, because now that she said that on 911 that, I had to make a run. And that right there tells us that she had to make a run or an errand to go get cigarettes and all that. So we now know that she did make 2 trips before the 911 call came in.
Well, and also she said she had to basically run this errand. She changed all that later, mind you. Had to run this errand. She came back 10 minutes later. Where could she go in 10 minutes? They live in a very rural area. You know what I mean? Where could she go in 10 minutes and be back? Okay, so in 10 minutes, then Summer was gone. All right. Then we said 2 minutes. Then she said she realized she was gone, and she got in her truck and zoom out the driveway to go try to look for her. All right, so there's Big Daddy telling us he knows in his heart and in his mind she was abducted.
We weren't exactly paying attention, and we don't know if they come in the basement and grab.
And this statement of his has always really irked me. We wasn't really paying attention. Someone snuck up there, maybe the basement, maybe she was in the yard, whatever, but he places himself there. Then later he says he drove from work because he saw his boys down by the creek, and that's when he knew she had been abducted. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
Exactly, Layla. We weren't exactly paying attention. We weren't. You got a mouse in your pocket, Don? What are you talking about? We weren't. Were you home or not? Yeah. We. And Dawn was not supposed to be there. We.
Grabbed her, or if she stepped outside the basement and was walking to her swing or something.
You can see the Wells house up through the trees on the hill right here. Summer was home with her mom, Candace. Her younger brothers and her grandmother was also on the property. And what the family thinks happened is that someone took...
All right, so right there, Brian Enton. I love his work, by the way. I don't know how he gets to these places so fast either. Anyway, he says right there, she was home with her mother, her brothers, and her grandmother. Okay, now Don just placed himself at the property. So anyway, but okay, we'll go along with this. We know Candace was home. We know Nappin Grandis was home. 3 boys. So again, how come Candace, up until recently when she was still talking, places the boys, at least for part of the day, at work with Dawn? I know I keep asking the same questions and questions we can't answer. It makes my brain hurt. It makes my brain hurt. We forget about the dogs too, right? Do we really think that those dogs were on vacation that day?
No. And they will bark at strangers if they hear something come up or a wild animal. They're going to bark at it no matter what.
I've seen other YouTubers that have gone up to the property and they're filming, You can hear the dogs. They come running down the driveway.
Yep.
McDonough even said they were all around his car. That day, the dogs were not on alert. Everything's different about the 15th with this family. Everything's different about the 15th.
Summer brought her down this steep embankment to possibly a car that was waiting in the roadway.
And I said, boys, where's your sister at? Well, she just went downstairs, mom, to play. So I went over here like this.
Summer's mom, Candace, allowed podcaster Chris McDonough with the interview room into her home in July.
This is how I would get down here.
Yep.
I don't know if you want to come down here or not.
They went downstairs in the cluttered house and into Summer's bedroom.
But this is where Summer...
I love the way Brian phrased that. The cluttered house. They went into the cluttered house. That's the nicest anyone has ever described it. Rebecca, you're right. Confusion is the tactic. Confusion is the tactic. Story wouldn't change if she was abducted. FBI card unit wouldn't say no abduction if she was truly abducted. Story wouldn't change if she just wandered off.
And now we know the facts right now that she was never abducted now. It came to light.
Unless the card unit just screwed up royally, I don't know. They said no abduction. I believe them. Oh, tinfoil brat, how I do love your comments. My aunt's house is cluttered. This is a hoarder's hovel from hell.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the way you do it. That's the way you do it.
A little wailing was.
This is the back door Summer may have disappeared through.
But I know I did come out here and I said, Summer, because sometimes she'll sit right here.
Do you think Candace would speak with me?
I don't know. I mean, we had to beg her, to please go on Dr. Phil, because she's just so been burnt thousands of times by people. So that's why she don't want to talk to nobody, and she didn't want to go on Dr. Phil.
She's burnt herself thousands of times because she lies and changes her story.
Yeah,
she was with Summer all day. Okay, Grandis is taking a nap. The boys were there. Okay, the boys were there, Candace. Everybody puts the boys there except for you. She's burnt herself. Do you agree?
Agreed. She burned herself numerous of times, and she was 100% responsibility for her welfare and everything. She was 100% responsibility.
Mm-hmm. Now, when Candace was on your panel, I caught her in 3 lies.
Oh, so did I.
On your panel is when she said she doesn't even know where Dawn was that day. Remember that?
Yep.
I had to listen to that. I probably rewound it 50 times. I was like, she said she doesn't even know where Dawn was that day. I was like, you said he was at work and your boys were with him. First it was 2 of them, then it was just 1. What do you mean you don't know where he was?
Well, and not only that, I caught her in a lie that no, Summers doesn't run off and all that, and that tells me that she don't really take responsibility to finding and knowing where her kids are. So that right there tells me she's not a parent of responsibility.
No. And anybody says, oh, my child doesn't wander off. Liar. Kids are curious. Of course they do. Of course they do. I used to get in trouble all the time for it.
I did when I was younger too, wandered off.
And especially for everything they had going on at their house, I imagine the kids did scatter and they would go hide.
Phil, that's why she was getting upset, because of the way the YouTubers and other people have turned on her. They've just ruined her.
Very sorry for the occasion.
The Wells were on Dr. Phil last week, and at one point, Candace walked off.
I'm being interrogated again, and I don't want to do this anymore. Yes, I am.
this scene when she was on the behavioral panel has always turned my stomach, and I don't know if it's just the early summer heat getting to me today or what, but right now I'm seriously nauseous. She's really crying. She's really crying, okay? This is not fake crying for Candace because of her own selfishness. She feels put in the corner. She feels like she's being beat up on. She's crying for herself, not for her daughter, not because her sons are now in the custody of the state of Tennessee. She's crying because, oh, I'm being interrogated. They're being mean to me. Does that not make you guys sick?
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
If you didn't want to be interrogated, why did you do it?
What did she think was going to happen? She was the one with Summer all day. Dawn was at work. Sleeping Beauty was in the camper. The boys were in the house doing their own thing. So Helicopter Mom would be the one with all the answers. Did she honestly think that she was going to go out there, besides getting to take pictures with Spider-Man and seeing the Hollywood Walk of Fame, did she think nobody was going to bring up that day to her?
Well, something just realized. I'm seeing something now. We watched the church, and she always slept and everything. And so, is it really her or Grandis one that took a nap? I think it was Candace that took more naps than Grandis ever did. So that right tells me she's lacking in parenting.
You know, and moms get worn out. Moms take naps. There no shame in my game. I have dozed off before. I have definitely dozed off.
Well, we have too, but the way she does it, I mean, she grabs a drink or does stuff, and then she's actually napping quite a bit when they had her on video. I mean,
she passes out.
Yeah.
But okay, so that honestly, I mean, there she is right there. There's your girlfriend right there. So, I mean, that would make sense to all of us. Got home, fixed something to eat. I was worn out. I took a nap. I got up. I couldn't find Summer. Then the wandering off story would make sense because she fell asleep. And I know a lot of people would be like, oh my gosh, you can't do that. You have to have eyes on your kids all the time. But it's still, that story would have made sense. But instead, we hear abduction, out of the basement, which there was a couch against that door. Okay. Maybe somebody grabbed her when she was going towards her swing. I went for a walk. Then it says run, which just means run an errand. And 10 minutes later, she was gone. Then we have to hear the planting flowers story. No.
Yeah, if Candace took a 2-mile walk, she wouldn't even get past the driveway. She'd be out of breath and all that.
Yeah. Crazy. And they both could have been asleep. It'd really make more sense if Candace said, I mean, trust me, it's not the worst parenting decision Candace has ever made if she went home and took a nap. Trust me, she's done far, far, far worse.
Yeah.
Goodness.
We'll stop. I want you to feel comfortable.
No, I want to go home.
I'm down.
Oh, I just always love this epic moment. Pulling off the wires. I want to go home. It's not helping me.
Questions have come up about what Candace might know.
Could she have gotten herself into a situation where it wasn't her fault, but
No,
you know what I mean?
no. She's a good mother. She loves her children. She's not going to allow any situation like that. The biggest mistake she might have made is maybe choosing some wrong friends, which is.
All right. Thank you, Dawn. Dawn confirms what a wonderful mother she is. Okay. Now listen to the double negative there. No.
No, she ain't.
She would never allow something like that to happen. But she might have made the wrong friends. Well, then you would allow a situation to happen, correct?
Correct.
Isn't that what we're saying? No, she's a great mother. I mean, closes his eyes totally when he says it, and he's shaking his head no. He knows what a POS she is. I mean, he called her Jezebel. All right, so no. He dismisses that, but she might have made the wrong friends. So, I mean, between picking up strangers at the convenience store, letting Jose move in, I mean, perfect strangers. So basically what Dawn is saying is she would allow a situation like that to happen. He's saying right there, she might have made the wrong friends. That stick out to anybody? She might have made the wrong friends.
It's possible. I mean, it's on the table.
Well, we know she made the wrong friends. We know she did. And those people made the wrong friends too. Candace wouldn't be in my cabinet.
No, not in mine either.
Mm-mm. So he just basically, trying to think of the word. I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden. He basically just called himself out. No, she's a good mother. She wouldn't allow anything like that around, anything like that to happen. But she could have made the wrong friends. Then that means you would allow bad things around your children.
It happens. But other than that, no way.
Do you think any of those wrong friends could have something to do with it?
We don't know.
We don't know. Okay. Who are the wrong friends? I'm not accusing anybody of doing anything, but I want to hear from, of course, Outlaw. I want to hear from everybody in chat. He seems convinced, like he knows more than what he's saying. Who are the wrong friends that could have caused the events of June 15th or 14th leading into the 15th?
Well, on my agenda, there's quite a few. I can go back and name about 30 people that she made the wrong moves and wrong friends.
Uh-huh. And I have a feeling Don has some friends that are not too shiny either.
No, he doesn't.
Cheyenne, exactly. Dawn is saying no, she wouldn't allow anything like that around. She wouldn't allow anything like that around. Like Cheyenne said, but she moves a man in her house that she didn't know, and even worse, had him around the kids. A perfect stranger. A perfect stranger. A perfect stranger. She doesn't know this person from Adam. Not saying anything about Jose. I'm just talking about the situation as a whole. She doesn't know anything about this person. They could be a sex offender. They could be a drug dealer. They could be abusive.
It could be a killer.
Yeah, a million things. But she moves them right in.
Then turn around and he wanted to go and date the other one. It's like, doesn't make no sense.
I love the Ben Hill dating game. 3
Yeah.
after Jose. Goodness.
You all have had some ups and downs in your past with alcohol and drugs. Do you think one of those people that came around could have?
No, we can't go there.
Well,
I never understood why Dawn was so dismissive of that statement. I mean, the cat was out of the bag. It's not like we all don't know they have an alcohol and drug problem up there. But he chuckles and goes, no, we can't go there. We can't go there. I wonder if it's because of the CPS case and they keep getting called out about it.
Yeah, he did it in a sarcastic way, too. And I just now caught that, how he did that. It's like, really?
Mm-hmm. No, we can't go there. No, Dawn, we can't go there. No, Dawn. Nope. She made the wrong friends and we dabble in drugs, but we can't go there. Nope. Doesn't make sense to Dawn.
Says he's limited in what he can say after social services took Summer's 3 brothers from the home earlier this year. Would you mind just quickly maybe taking us for a little drive around? Just me,
Sure.
even just so I can. I know you don't want me up there walking around, but maybe you could just drive me around.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
sir. Thank you,
I appreciate it. Thank
Appreciate
you.
guys.
He initially agreed to take me on the property, but then changed his mind. He says he wants the focus to remain on Summer and finding whoever took her.
Hello.
Don, you freak. You want the focus to remain on Summer. Brian Enton is a great investigative journalist. He's saying, can you take me around the property that she was supposedly abducted from? But you're like, oh no, we got to keep it about Summer. That's 100% about Summer. That's 100% about Summer. Come on, can't go there. Can't go there. Can't go there.
We love our daughter with all our hearts. We miss her. We'd do anything to have her back in that church with us that she so loves.
The sheriff says the Wells are cooperating, but that there's no evidence at this point that Summer was kidnapped or abducted.
Is it possible that Summer's parents, Candace and Dawn, had something to do with this, or have you ruled that out?
We haven't ruled anything out. Everything's possible.
And right now, detectives say they are looking for a red or maroon pickup truck that may have been in the area around the time that Summer Wells went missing. But even the sheriff today said they have no confirmation that the truck was actually there. They're not even for sure it is definitely connected. There are so many pieces to this puzzle they just haven't figured out yet. But another interesting thing, Marnie, he did confirm for me today that both of Summer's parents did pass a polygraph test.
Which is something I know a lot of people have wondered. Brian, the sheriff says everything is on the table. Everyone is a person of interest. They are not ruling anything out. So one theory out there is this thing called the cornbread mafia that we're seeing a lot on social media. What is it? What's the sheriff saying?
So the cornbread mafia is sort of rumored to be this underground mafia network in this area of drug.
I'm stopping that right there. When they bring up the cornbread mafia, we have lots of locals in our CLL community that are just like, I don't know why they threw that out there because it's not a thing. Okay, so then he's talking about the red truck again. So his most recent interview with Lawson, which was, I think, in late October, early November. Well, this is after the DUI, so early November. So he's talking to Lawson. Now they don't even know if the truck was even there that day. So your reliable source is no longer reliable. You see why I bang my head against the wall? We have an article, the 14th or 15th. We just want to talk to who was driving it. We don't think they're a suspect, blah, 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 blah. Then he tells Brian Enton, we don't even know if that truck was even there. But if it was, I guess I'm going to guess that truck was never even there. It's a small town. Most people know what people drive. They're like, oh yeah, that's such and such's truck. I've seen that truck.
Yeah, in a small community like that, they know what comes in, and they know who's there and everything like that. And if it's a strange vehicle, yeah, they're going to be concerned about it. But like a small community, they're going to know one another.
Mm-hmm. And as far as the polygraph, I probably should have stopped it before that because I was really concentrating more on the 14th, the 15th, the red truck, and why they find it important and why Robin dismissed it. I've never liked that. If law enforcement says it's important, then she needs to leave it alone. But anyway, so as far as the polygraph, I'm really weird in these cases. It doesn't really pique my interest one way or another. There are many, many, many people who have passed polygraphs that are guilty. There are many, many, many people who have failed them that are innocent. We've been doing Movie Mondays for quite a while about the Pam Hupp story. Russ Faria is innocent, yet he failed his polygraph. Failed it miserably. I don't get hung up on those. We did a whole show about polygraphs one day. Jennifer Coffindaffer was even explaining why they're a good guide, but they're not that important. Ted Bundy passed his, and I think he's guilty as sin. Guilty as the day is long.
Yeah.
So I don't get caught up in those things. All right. It's definitely worth discussing. Danette, I have a question. What's your question, Danette?
And not only that, I'm going to mention I did do deep dive on the Cornbed Mafia, but they've been disbarred back in the mid 70s, and they're no longer a group.
I don't believe any organized group of people would have a damn thing to do with Dawn and Candace, because if they want it sloppy, you're going to bring them in.
Yep.
And hang on. The Real Rock and Robin. I put the link up, guys. I'm opening the panel if anybody wants to come up and discuss this. If not, I'm going to start winding it down. Got another show in a couple hours. The Real Rock and Robin said, I have to go back to Unmasked interview with Allie and Leslie. H called Leslie to say Summer was gone. Not abducted, not walked off, not missing, not anything else but gone. I found that very odd, too. That the word was gone from the get-go. Gone. It was never, we can't find her. It was never, she's got to be around here somewhere. It was never, we're looking. Why was Candace not actively looking for her? Candace knew she was gone. Candace knew. Candace knew. Yeah, it was a permanent situation. She's just gone. Not, hey, we're looking. Can you guys come out here and help us look? Didn't actually even ask anyone to help. People volunteered, but there wasn't any sense of urgency on her part that someone needed to help her find Summer. And we coined that phrase, Lisa. Everything about this case, we've done several shows we call Opposite Day because it's opposite, except for Summer being gone. Nothing opposite about that, but everything else is, oh, okay, there's two sides to every coin, so let's look at the other side, because what they're saying makes no sense. No sense. What's up, Lone Wolf?
Oh, not too much.
So, what do you think? Is there anything important about the 14th, Monday the 14th? We have the situation with Dudley. He explains Dawn on his phone. He said he looked at his phone as if he had lost his best friend. We read the news article where they said the red truck might have saw something on Monday the 14th. And also we have the conversation between our friend Emma and Grandis saying Dawn got mad at Candace because she had a drink. Candace has never had a drink. And she put him in his place. And of course, Grandis went home. You know, Grandis removes herself from every sticky situation. So what are you thinking about the 14th?
The 14th. Well, I still think as far as what Dudley said transpired on the 14th is relevant. Now it's possible, okay, that the boys or one of or a couple of the boys could have gone to with Don to work on the 14th.
Okay, so that could have been when they went to work with Dawn, not on the 15th. They can't be at the creek looking for Summer and on the way back home from work with Dawn.
I know. And when if Don fired Dudley on the 14th, okay, Dudley was parking up at the hill and going to work with Don. So if Don fired Dudley, then that would have meant that Don would have had to have taken Dudley home to get his vehicle.
He didn't want eyes on him on the 15th, it seems.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
so
just
whatever was going on was being planned by Candace on the 14th.
So you're saying that when he got that message and his whole face fell, lost all the coloring, blood drained, looked like he'd lost his best friend. He knew what was going to happen.
Yeah. Because I even question that picture where Don is holding Summer in the house. And that picture looks the same way how Dudley was explaining that Don looked.
I think that picture was taken the same day as the barrel video, if I remember correctly.
I'm thinking so.
But it's hard to keep it all straight. Whew. You think by now we could write a book, but I mean, as much as everything's been convoluted, changed around, this happened. No, this didn't happen. It's like, how can you keep changing your stories? The Real Rockin' Robin said, continued, Leslie, it bothered Hunter because she was alive the last time he saw her. Who said something about Summer no longer being alive? Okay, and also when Hunter was talking to Chris McDonough, another a member caught this. He said, because it was a short time from when I saw her to when she disappeared. So that shook him up, and just the way he said it. Gone is different than we can't find her. Gone is different than come up here. We need as many people as possible to help us look for her. You know what I mean? That's different.
Yeah. Hunter used words that were different than Candace.
Monzi Smokes. I wish a creator could have a talk with Marlena. Oh, they've tried. I would like to know how Summer was when she came to pick her daughter up. Me too. And I still want to know what went down. That Summer has a little friend over to play, and suddenly the little girl has to go home. Something is up there. Something's up there.
I've had it out of rudeness. It's like, wait a minute, why is he doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is, was Marlena's daughter there on the 14th?
Was it the 14th that Marlena had to come pick up the little girl? Does anybody know? I've heard the 13th and I've heard the 14th. I've heard 2 dates, which is not uncommon. It's not uncommon.
Unless CPS was scheduled to come on the 14th.
I don't think we have to worry about that. Okay. Danette said the 14th. And Danette, you had a question and I missed it. Okay, so it's the 14th. Muscle said the 14th. So we can, okay, the 14th. Again, that's another thing about the 14th leading up to the 15th. The truck could have been in the area and witnessed something on the 14th. Dawn fires Dudley. Who fires their help on a Monday to plan to do the rest of the week, the work by yourself? Okay?
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah, especially if you got 5 jobs going at the same time and he's a subcontractor of his own business and right there and he fires his help. Come on. It don't make sense.
His only help? I mean, come on. No. Mm-mm. No. Something was up with that. Definitely. Grandis took the child to Marlena's on the 14th. Boy, Grandis is the errand runner. Took Jose to South Carolina. Takes the little girl back to Marlena's. I don't know. Oh, I got to look at this real quick. In a Facebook group, very early, Marlena said she was supposed to stay till Tuesday, but they called that Saturday to come get her early. Okay, and then we hear Grandis took her back on Monday. And we all know that one extra kid's not going to bother Candace.
No. It might Dawn, but it won't bother Candace.
Something was in the works.
Something was in the works. Too many odd things were brewing. Too many odd things were brewing. Danette, this has always bothered me too. Why take that video of her around that barrel that says for sale? In the TBI frequently asked questions, people ask, like, have they searched the property? They mention barrels. So I'm going to assume the barrel's still there, but I just think that was really odd. I mean, everything they do is odd, but that's just creepy. That's creepy. I plead the fifth, said the day of the 14th, something happened. Didn't Dudley say Don looked like he lost his best friend? Yep. And then he fired Dudley. And then the little girl had to go home that day. Not Summer, but her friend.
Something is very suspicious. So there's something on the 14th. It triggered all this.
I think we need to look a lot more at the 14th because that's when the volcano was getting ready to erupt.
Well, see, I don't believe in coincidences.
They're tough to explain, aren't they?
I believe in irony. There's a difference.
Yeah. And we have too many things that point to something not right.
No.
Yep. Well, guys, I appreciate you coming back and coming up on the panel and talking to me about this. I'm going to start winding this down. We have another show in about an hour and a half. And then we have I think we have 2 shows tomorrow. And then we're going to be back talking about summer on Friday. There's another topic I want to discuss. Doing another blast from the past, something that stuck out to me. So you guys hit that sub button, hit the bell to get reminded. And I'll see you guys in Discord between the show. And then come back about an hour and a half. So it's noon Central Time. Thanks a lot, Outlaw. Thanks a lot, Lone Wolf. I just love you guys' insight on different cases.
Not a problem. Anytime.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Take that down. All right, guys. Again, I'm sorry for last night. I didn't realize that there was any technical difficulties. Seems like it was on YouTube's fault. On their side, it was their fault. So I can't edit the video, but if you go back and listen to it again, there's no buffering out or anything like that. So I don't know what was going on. You guys are the best. I'll see you back here in an hour and a half. Thanks again for being the best community and the best chat on YouTube and always having an open and understanding conversation every day. You guys are awesome. Have a great hour and a half till I see you again. Bye-bye.